So hey guys, Rafael, Jackson, and our amazing guest, Alex. We had the most beautiful and the most epiest and at the same time worst conversation ever. It's both. Mm-hmm. Listen to this, you're gonna love it.
Or hate it, right?
Or hate it.
Yeah,
it's both.
Whatever is
whatever you want. Whatever you want. You hate it or love it. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we talked about life, reality, depression, fears, jiu-jitsu as a tool to defeat.
Both.
Oh my gosh.
Both.
To defeat all these things that go in life. We talk about that every leader, every superstar out there also have all the battles, the daily battles, and I think this was a very good time sharing this with you guys, and I hope everybody enjoyed there, and give us a feedback. What's your opinion about our discussion here? And thank you one more time, Alex, to be part of this.
Obrigado.
And I see you guys soon. Thank you.
Sempre brincando, nunca
Sempre
brigando.
brincando, nunca brigando. Nice one. Thank you.
So Alex, thank you for coming in, brother. Thank you for coming in. So one of the things that we want to start with is your beautiful story with jiu-jitsu, man. How did you start jiu-jitsu?
My beautiful story with jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu was an art that was always around me because I was born and raised in Torrance, like so Torrance that I went to Torrance High. You know, and the Carson Academy was like 2 minutes away. You know, and my parents lived 3 minutes away. So every time I drove by, it was like stuff. What is jiu-jitsu pajama stuff? You know? My friends would do it, that's stupid, you know. And in high school, my friends did it, and I was working out. I was playing football, and I was like, I'll just punch someone in the chest. So when I joined the Marines, once I got out, I was looking for something, and I was looking for something like striking, aikido, karate, whatever it was, you know. And there was one that was like, I think like 15 minutes away. It took me 15 minutes away. That's far. I don't want to drive 15 minutes away. You know what I mean?
With LA traffic, that's never a good idea.
15 minutes becomes an hour.
And so when I was looking for one, and I saw the size, it sign up for a month to get a month free. And I was like, let me go there. Let me milk it. Let me see get the best out of it. Man, the first class, I say this all the time. The first class I did was I knew I wanted to teach. I right from my first class.
Like, wow, that was it.
I didn't say I was going to be the best. I wanted to tap everything. I was like, this is what I wanted to do. You know, and then after that, you know, started training. Brian Ortega was a kid. He's not a kid anymore, but
just a teenager, right?
A teenager, little tiny little skinny kid. You know, I'm a Marine. You know,
right.
20 to 30 pounds, I think. You know, and he was tapping me like this. And I was
that's incredible.
And that's the catch, right? That's the catch.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And it's always an extreme. Like either you get very frustrated, and like embarrassed, and like, this little person is beating you up. Let me just go over here, avoid it, and then leave eventually. But I was fascinated, man. I was like, this is so cool, so cool. And people say, why? And I was like, well, imagine this little kid doing this to me, a man, you know?
Right.
Imagine if I knew what he knew. What can I do to someone else that's the same weight difference or more?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what made me believe in it was Brian, you know, and catching me triangles nonetheless.
Living from the military to all the power feelings, you know, go to a jiu-jitsu gym and gets bounced right away with a teenager.
And especially coming from the Marine Corps.
Right.
You know, and we're very arrogant, conceited, overly confident because we need to be. Yeah. And I still have that. So I could be like, man, this little kid beat me up. But as a Marine, I was like, you know what, I want a challenge. I don't want anything easy. So when I signed up, I asked Lupe, she's my friend, she still works here. I was like, how does he get a blue belt? Like, what are these belts, you know? And she's like, blue belt takes 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years back then. I'm like, okay. How about a black belt? 15, 20 years. So with this family, good luck. I was like, you know, I'm going to be the fastest blue belt, and I'm going to get my black belt in 5 years. She laughed. She literally laughed in my face. You know, we teach people not to do that anymore, you know?
Right.
Can you imagine, like, this
like,
takes like 20, 30 years. I'm going to get it in 5. I would laugh too, I think, you know?
Be careful.
Be careful. And I got my blue belt in 6 months. And then I got my black belt. I got it in 6 years since when I signed up to when I got it.
So the sooner you got in, I believe that if you achieve the rank of black belt, you put a lot of commitment on it. Like it was like 2-3 classes a day, living jiu-jitsu all the time. And that was your
you
first.
became jiu-jitsu basically.
I've adapted jiu-jitsu fully. I fully embraced it, you know. And I say adapted or adopted and embraced it because our words are very powerful and we're very literal as human beings, and especially in jiu-jitsu. You know, and jiu-jitsu is, but back then it was more of an escape for me. You know, and then as I became a black belt and so forth, then I realized how powerful our words are. And I don't like saying jiu-jitsu is my life. Jiu-jitsu is my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, so I started thinking about it. I was like, well, if I get in a car accident, you know, and I can't walk and I can't move, or when I can't practice jiu-jitsu, am I dead? It's like, no. So jiu-jitsu completely complements my life in a positive way. You know, so and that's what I did. That's what I did, excuse me. You know, and it's funny because when I got when I was teaching as a purple belt, you know, and you know, when you have students, private students, you become friends and so forth. That they see you more than they see their family. They see you as a therapist, not even as a therapist. So students were asking me for advice as a purple belt. These are like it's very successful people,
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't realize until black belt all the advice I was telling them, I was really talking to myself. And I only realized that when I had my knee surgery.
Okay.
You know, and being very active in school, you know, from sports to the Marine Corps to jiu-jitsu nonstop. When I was teaching Freddie Prinze Jr. and he found out about my knee surgery, he's like, Alex, you're going to be depressed. You're going to hit a depression. I was like, oh my God, absolutely not, man. This is my vacation.
Right.
Nonstop. I've been nonstop all the time. You know, vacation. Man, but was he right? Times 100. After 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks, major depression.
Right.
The deepest depression I've had in my life, man.
Right, because you could not be active in the mats and share that passion that you have.
Not at all, man. And when people say, well, jiu-jitsu is a mindset too, I agree. You know, but again, you were active all your life. Yeah. Physical and everything like that. To like, you can't even do anything. You can't even do anything. You know, it hit me very hard. And that's when I realized that all the advice I was telling people, I was talking to myself. Because I started seeing a therapist. And when the therapist started talking to me, I was like, didn't you already tell me this? And she was like, no, what are you talking about? I was like, wait a minute, this is just an echo that I said out there. And it came boom back to me.
It became like a deja vu, like, oh,
yeah,
I already lived this,
You know, so when you say how'd you say, like, the beautiful way of getting to jiu-jitsu, or I forgot how you started.
The beautiful story of jiu-jitsu.
The beautiful story of jiu-jitsu. So it was very beautiful, but then it became very dark.
Right.
Way. You know,
every story is beautiful because it has both sides.
It's both sides.
It has to have both sides.
Would you say that's kind of addiction? Like if you cannot have it, you get in that kind of depression?
Oh, it's a major addiction.
Yes.
Completely, it's an addiction.
Yes.
And I know I go kind of back and forth, but I was addicted to jiu-jitsu. Addicted, obsessed. So when I first signed up, I was talking about it to myself, to my family, to my friends, to my coworkers, to everything. And my friends were like, all you talk about is jiu-jitsu. If I wasn't doing it, I was reading. If I was reading, I was doing the DVDs. Yeah. And I was like, man, I am addicted to it.
You are jiu-jitsu now. You become jiu-jitsu straight.
I was just too much jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You know, but once I stopped obsessing over it, that's when you.
No, I have a little book that has like 100 scientific like research about happiness. And the guy like puts like one a page and everything, and I read every day just like a little reminder. And there's one that says like, don't close yourself to any identity. And that's exactly what you said, because if we close ourselves in that moment, that same thing that you say that you are, you can't do it anymore. Like you said, you're dead.
Become a problem.
So you want to say like, it's a part of my life, but it's not what I am. It's just a part of it. It's just something that I have. Like, and there's many people that say that they're Jesus. There's many people that say that they're businessmen. There's many people that say they're doctors. And when they stop, their whole life just becomes nothing. And there's some people that get stuck, or some other people that start discovering other things. And you flow beautifully because you start to discovering that in that moment.
Well, thank you, man. And I got stuck in that category as well. I like you say, I became jiu-jitsu, so that became my identity. And I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna be jiu-jitsu. And back then, Hito and Henry were the main ones, of course. Yeah. So when I was moving up, they would say, oh, you're a prodigy, this and this and that. And I'm not saying this to gloat. Right. This is what people are telling me, and that's a lot of pressure. You know, and they're like, Alex, you move like the Keaton, and you move like Henry. Like, who are you gonna be? I'm like, I don't know, who should I be? And I was like, wait a minute. I'm me.
Right,
you know?
right,
It's
right.
like I'm gonna be a hybrid of them, but be me.
Yeah.
You know, but even like being purple belt, brown belt, black belt, like I became jiu-jitsu Alex, or jiu-jitsu Marine Alex, jiu-jitsu Marine, you know,
your own version of
label.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm Alex.
Your own version of the mentors that you had at that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm me, who happens to teach jiu-jitsu, passionate about jiu-jitsu, who is a son, who is a father, and so forth and so forth. You know? So I didn't want to just be this right here.
Right.
You know, and that identity, it could be, it's addicting too, because it's a power. It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's comfort, man. It's comfort.
Complete comfort.
Yeah.
You teach at the Gracie University with the boys.
Yeah.
You're this, you're this, you're this. I'm like, cool.
And I think I think that happened especially because you left the Marine Corps and you were looking for a tribe to join and something new to learn. And jiu-jitsu itself, it's addicting, but especially when you have that time, that free time that you're looking for something. And
that moment.
I had a very similar beginning in jiu-jitsu when I started it. I didn't want to go. I was like, I don't want to go because I was involved in other stuff. And the sooner I tried it, I become that too. I started to go to the gym every day, and I had that time. And it's incredible how much you embrace this lifestyle. And it's not just the training itself. The training itself is amazing, the technique, the sparring. But then you realize that all your friends around you now, they're all part of that tribe. You know, like, and you end up getting involved with everybody in the gym, and you end up going out with that same people. And it's very, very interesting how that happened. And probably now in the position that you are, you see other people come and also getting that same addiction, right? Like the students come, and then you see yourself in other people, and it's so easy to understand now why those guys that's coming in maybe for a trial class randomly, somebody brought them in, and 2 months after they're living inside here now.
Because they went too much.
Yeah.
They went too much, they get obsessed with it. Just it's an obsession.
Yes.
You know, anything, even something healthy, too much of it could be bad. Like drinking water.
Yeah.
Thing, you could drown.
There's something really interesting that I started, like, I think it was a podcast that talked about it, that said, like, every time that you get obsessed with something, just drink a little bit of it. Just a bit of it. And every, like, right now, like I mentioned to you, that I'm super into the puzzles of languages and everything. And I wanted to dive in when I met the kid, the French kid, the story that I told. Like, he came into the class, he signed up just because I tried to connect with him in that part, because nobody else was helping him to just, like, hey, welcome to the US and all that stuff. He was getting used to it. I wanted to dive in so I can help him out. But then I heard that, and I was like, no, just 10 minutes a day of French is fine. Or 10 minutes a day of the new subject that you're so eager to learn is fine. And I recommend even to the students. For example, one of the students came in and said, like, oh man, I love jiu-jitsu. Do you think I can come in here every day? I was like, I know you're super pumped. Yeah, you can. I know you're super pumped. But just come 2 times a week. Just come 2 times a week. And they just did it. And now, then like a few months later, then he changed it to 3 times and then 4 times. But like, go slow on it and give yourself like a little pace. Why? Because you're going to get bored eventually. If there's something that you like, you want to pace yourself so that way you don't that's what gluten means. Like, you just want like so much and get so much of it. Sometimes you just need a little bit.
And you know what's probably you don't know about it. You definitely don't know. But when I first came to Gracie Academy here to experience what was going on here, and was still in the old gym, and I did the whole class, master cycle, and then was the sparring part. And you are one of my first sparring in that day, right? And we trained together, and I say like, wow, man, this guy is so good, you know, like smooth, but like dangerous at the same time, right? And then we trained, and I trained with Henry and everybody, and I was exhausted. I was not ready that day. I was not ready for that kind of training. And then after I went to the changing room, and I was there like eating some almonds, trying to recover. And then you came in, and I say like, hey Alex, do you do this full time, man? And you said like, oh yeah, I do this full time. And I look at you like, hey, do you know how lucky you are to be full time a jiu-jitsu teacher in this kind of environment here? And you're like, yeah, I know, I'm very lucky to be here.
I say it like that,
you said that.
Wow.
You said like no, really, you have no idea. You have no idea how much that was a motivation for me. Because in that time I say like, man, I'm also a full-time instructor, but I'm not in this environment here. You know, I'm not in this kind of friendly, nice environment. The way that you guys treated me that day was the hook. You know, like the first experience I had at Gracie Academy was like, wow, this is incredible. You know, like the camaraderie in the training and the friendship and like very low risk of getting injury, no ego. And I remember I'm telling you, like I'm like exhausting the bench eating those almonds, and I say like, man, I was looking at you and I saw like, man, I am already a full-time instructor, but I wanna be that version now. I wanna flip what I'm doing and be like Alex now, being this nice, welcoming person that I don't think I was at that time. You know, I don't think I was. My mindset was a little different at that time. And I remember that was a good motivation for me that day. Yeah. You probably had so many like me that had you as a motivation. That how many people come and train here, and how many people that you influenced already. You know, but
the thing is, man, like I always say, I'm very forgetful, but I always remember, and I do remember. I don't remember you eating or very specifically, but I do remember you retired.
Right.
And then you said I roll with heat on hand, and I was like, well, that's expected when you roll with heat on hand.
Yeah. You know, and just to finish, this, like the thing that really catch me is like, because during the training, I knew you could have catch me so many times, but you didn't. You know, like you had so many opportunities to finish me, but you felt that I was not engaged in that same level of stamina at that day. And you make me flow, you know, and that was, I think, was like an 8 minutes row or something, and you made me flow and survive during the training, you know, even though that I was trying to give my best and show something, and you took care of me during that training. And I think that was like, man, this is different. I would not have done that, you know, like if a black belt come to visit and train and go intense on me, I would probably respond in the same energy, you know, but you took care of me in that row, in that specific row. You let me finish the training without feel like I have to throw up right now, you know, like you say, no, let's go, you know. And of course you could control me and you could have done more than what you did, but you made that fun for me, you know.
And that's the thing, man, you kept saying, which is true, like I was taking care of you, I was taking care of you. But it's about taking care of each other.
Right.
And could I have tapped you a few times? I mean, I could say I don't know or yes, but you were the one that were experiencing it.
Right.
And that's why I believe that I say, you know, don't perform jujitsu gluttony. You know, because if I roll with you or anybody, and I tap you out 10 times, and you only tap me out either 0 or 1 or 2,
right?
It's like it's uncalled for. It's like it's not even nutritious anymore. It doesn't even taste the same. You know, so that's why it was flowing and going back and forth. You know, and I experienced this. It was a while back. I went. These couple guys came from Brazil, a purple belt. You know, and we were rolling, and he tapped me. He tapped me, okay, boom. Then he tapped me again, and then I caught him again, and I taught him. Then he tapped me, back and forth, you know, back and forth, you know. And then he came up to me and he said the same thing. So thank you, man. It was fun. And I said, it's not what you expected, huh? He's like, no, I thought you were gonna go hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, the thing is that you would have been satisfied with that as well, because
you
expected.
Right.
You know, you could have came here like, oh, Alex is a black roll. I roll with a black roll. And you smash with these guys, or you could be this. He tapped you so many times. Or you could be satisfied with, like, you know what? We used exchange back and forth. He caught me in a submission I've never seen before. And I was like, oh, cool. And I asked him how he did it, and he told me. And then when I told that story to the class or a student or anybody, they don't believe it. Like, wait a minute, a purple belt tapped you? And I was like, yeah, and he tapped me because I'd never seen that move before. I asked, can a purple belt really tap you? And I was like, I don't know. Was I going 100%?
Right.
No. You know, was he going 100%? I don't know. I'm not him. You know, but because at the end of the roll, I want to make sure everybody leaves with a smile.
Right.
Me,
yes.
You know, and not, it could be a physical smile or like
right.
You know, metaphorically, you know,
frustrating smile.
You're satisfied with it.
And if you leave frustrated, like,
you
know what I do?
I
grab you and hey, let's go again, man.
Right.
And then until it becomes fun.
No, if that was not the vibe that day, I would probably have felt sick after the training, and probably maybe I would not even be here today. You know, I would probably not be around anymore because of that first experience that I went training there and I got smashed and I felt so sick. that would turn around everything what's happening right now, you know.
And I think it was cool because I remember this very well. I think it was that same day or before you left. Because you said hook and it kind of triggered memory. Because I swept you a few times, you know, and then either that same day or that week before you left, I'm not sure. And it was a huge compliment to, like, even for me. I was like, oh man, you know, you told me that, man. Cool.
Right.
Like, you're like, Alex, people usually try sweeping and you usually don't get swept.
Right.
Besides your skill and stuff like that, but you're
it happened.
You have long legs. You
Yeah.
And he asked me, like, how did you do it? And I was like, me? You asking me? You know, me? You know, and I showed you.
Yeah, and you always do. That's something that you always do. Every time that I come here and I train with you, right after you come and you give me a gold nugget. You know, like every time you always take like 1 minute or two, hey, let me show you what I did. And I always go home with something that's we got out of the training, and you know, and it's not happening out there. Most of the gyms, there is no this environment.
They
you
want to
know,
keep it to themselves.
Yes, when they keep it to themselves, they want to like do that again and again on you and take advantage on that move and not share. You know,
we say like words are very powerful, and I take it sometimes very literal. So he said you gotta. I give you a gold nugget for this. So if I give you a gold nugget, man, you don't realize, but you give me a gold bar like this big. You know what I mean? It's like, because to sweep you, it wasn't easy.
Right.
I really remember, because it wasn't just like boom.
Right.
It was like boom, and then you put your foot out there, and then it was boom,
resisting,
boom,
yeah.
boom. It was like a 180.
Right.
Boom. So the golden bar,
right,
for me, was like, just don't stop. Just don't stop. Just boom.
And that's so much jiu-jitsu, right? That's so much jiu-jitsu. When you go, something don't work, you change for another one, and you flip it here, there.
It's an amazing conversation.
Until you
it's an active conversation.
Yes.
and the cool thing is because I do seminars and I teach black belts, privates, and somewhere else too. Black belts have been trained way longer than me, and I teach them very basic stuff, like a collar choke.
Right.
You know, and then of course I add my own little twist to it because for my body type and injuries that I have. You know, and or it could be any technique, but there's a few black belts that come up to like to the side. Alex, this is cool. You know, aren't you afraid of sharing your secrets? Like to the world, shouldn't you keep some stuff for yourself?
Right.
And I was like, bro, if it was a secret, I wouldn't be telling you. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, man, I do this, man. I do this.
Yes.
You know, the best and worst thing about me is that I'm like this. I'm open book. You know, I'm gonna quote Eddie over here works. Does this. I do this. You know, and I was like, that's so cool, man. And I do the same thing, man. I do this, right? And then what does this look like? If you're in front of me, what does it look like when I do this? It looks like I'm giving you a hug.
Right.
But that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But then what's what it looks like? Then I need a hug.
Right. It's exchange.
So
exactly.
It's
both.
Exactly. It's an exchange, man. And and I tell students, man, like it's myself. And that's the most, jiu-jitsu is the most beautiful, loving, unforgiving, frustrating, hateful, back and forth art I think there is, man. Because it constantly contradicts itself. You know, like jiu-jitsu is called, what's it, like gentle art, right?
Yes.
So what are we teaching people? How to kill somebody, man.
You
could kill somebody.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
The violent, gentle art.
Yeah. And
it's both.
And that's why I say, like, it's you want to be a killer without looking like a murderer. You want to be actively still, aggressively calm. Alex, I guess I'm known for my weight. I don't know. Alex, how do you put your weight? Is working out, eating more? Like, how do you become so heavy, man?
There's nothing to do with food, right?
Where is the silver bullet? What is the silver bullet?
It does help physical,
right?
You know? Yeah. And I was like, man, if you want to learn how to be heavy, you have to master how to be light.
Of course.
You know?
So you as a main instructor here, one of the main instructors here in the gym, you share. We are talking about your sharing everything, and what's the thing that's you really use on your personal life that jiu-jitsu really brought in your life since you discovered jiu-jitsu many years ago? What's one thing that you really use outside of the door when you leave the gym that you apply in your life? I know you're a family man, you have kids, and I always see that you're an amazing father. You really take care of your daughter Marley and your new baby. You know, you really put time on there, and I see that. And what's one thing that you take out of the mats that's really made you a better person, and you apply that in your life outside of here, on your family and your daily and your habits and everything?
You know, it's funny that I hear that question a lot, but the way you, I guess, asked me made me think of many different answers, but one specifically what jiu-jitsu like it's brought to me because many people join for many reasons. You know, there's no wrong reason. There's no wrong reason, but I didn't join because I felt the need to exercise or to lose weight or to do. I just wanted to do something.
Socialize or
not even socialize. I just wanted to do something.
Yeah.
You know, so what jiu-jitsu taught me, man, is that it exposed things that I didn't realize were open, right? And it exposed things that I thought was good, like it was already strong.
You shed a light.
It made me turn around, like, wait a minute, I didn't notice that over there.
Yeah.
So what did it help me, man? It helped me, like, you know what? I'm not invincible, and I'm definitely not invisible. You know what I'm saying? So it really forced me to be honest with myself. You know, and how did it force me to be honest with myself? Because we hide behind our go-tos in a way, right? Like if you're I don't know, in this shape, you kind of disguise. You use that as a shield, as a mask, if you want to call it. You know, if you're good with arm locks and chokes, you can be constantly doing that because you don't want to pay attention over here. You know, so now I was like, man, what am I masking? You know, on the mat and off the mat. And that's when I started doing like a self audit and a jiu-jitsu audit. Like, what am I using too much of? What am I hiding? What should I throw away? What stuff that I have is good that I'm not using. You know, so I look at my strengths that I have, and I search for the weakness so I can make it stronger. You know, and then I have to be honest with myself and search and really look, and not be afraid to find my weakness, but make it stronger. You know, and I know we're going back and forth, but what jiu-jitsu taught me also, man, is when I was a black belt, when I was a black belt, I hit my biggest depression, and I had my first panic anxiety attack. And when I remember this very, very, like it's like screenshot in my head, and I was rolling with Henry, you know, bottom of the side mount. I mean, of course, everybody gets anxiety with Henry, you know, but it wasn't like he was like, oh God. I was bottom of the side mount. His gi was open, and his gi, he didn't put it there. He just went like this. It was resting on my face, and I was like, oh, never have I ever had that felt in my life, man. So I just went berserk. I don't know if he tapped me or not. I just blanked out, man. And that messed with my head so much, man. I was like, you know what? I'm a black belt. I'm a Marine.
Right.
Why am I getting claustrophobic like this, man? And I used to like being smashed like
right,
this. I
right.
didn't care. I was like, okay, but just like this, man. And I would get it more than often than not. And Mike Safai told me, I told him about it because we were having a conversation. He told me, and he was all, you know what's funny is that once you experience that, it might have been like this, right? This will never happen again. You know, but when you feel it starting like this is gonna feel like this, like that. You know, and man, was he right, man? You know, when you feel, and it wasn't I was drinking coffee or any like anything like that. It would just happen. And so when students come up to me like, I'm not getting anxiety attack. I shouldn't. You know, I'm a big guy. I'm a small guy. And I was like, hey, guess what? I do too. But you're a black belt. I seen get smashed. I didn't start getting anxiety attack until I was a black belt. You know, and it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and that's what the beautiful and frustrating, and the beautiful and the ugly part of jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You know, because it's constantly a contradiction.
Open exactly the things that are blocked inside you for many different reasons.
And what I'm saying, and not to cut you off, but something that to add to that and to make more in the interpretation is that I read something that gave me that same like opening, like what the just breakthrough. Is the yin and yang. Most people don't understand the yin and yang comes from let's put this analogy, the love and the fighter. You can be a lover if you can be a fighter, and you can be a fighter if you can be a lover. And just experiencing that makes you a better both of them to make that part and be balanced. You can't have both, or you can't have the balance if you don't have the both extremes, or you have an experience of the both extremes. And most people don't understand that. And that's something that you always give that gift to people. You explain that to them, and you share that to them.
And it was just true. So, because jiu-jitsu is very frustrating, man. And it's very giving, but also it'll take stuff away from you. It'll take the negative out of you, but also take your confidence and everything, you know. So when I teach combatives, combatives, you see the students, especially when you teach like an elbow escape or a triangle, it's a lot of steps.
Right, right.
So I'll say if you feel frustrated, annoyed, like you feel like you don't understand it, it's not sticking in your head. How many of you guys, feel that guy like discouraged? Everybody, a lot of people.
Right.
And well, guess what? That's normal.
Yeah, and that's how you master
If
things.
you didn't feel that, that's not normal. I'm what's going on, man?
Superstar.
Tell me. And it's funny because again, one thing cannot exist without the other. Right. And I'm going to be open. I'm going to just do this right now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to get too emotional, but I talked to a lot of my friends. Some are vets, some have worn a uniform or not. It doesn't matter what I did. I could have gone through 10 different traumatic things, and you've gone through 2. And when I share with you, Alex, I don't feel. Oh wow, you went through way more. I feel stupid for feeling so. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter how many things I've been through. It's still the same level of discomfort, or darkness, Man, and because the worst thing that could happen to a kid, without going into detail, happened to me many, many times. And the worst things, and bullied and stuff like that. To just recently, man, I'm proud of. It's funny, I'm proud of myself, but also very embarrassed about this, But I was afraid of the dark. Like I did not sleep in the dark. I did not sleep in the dark as an adult. Back when not until I got my service dog Shira. It was the first night I was able to like turn off the lights.
Right.
And it was really cool, But it's funny how it constantly contradicts itself. Like I said this, I shared this earlier, and I shared this with a couple of my friends. And then he started crying. I started crying. I was like, it's funny that we're afraid of the dark, but we avoid the light.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, which one is it?
Yeah. Right.
It's like, man, it's like when someone says like me again personally, like, you know what? I like attention, but don't give me too much attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, leave me alone, but don't leave me alone. It's like, look at me, but don't stare at me.
Yeah.
And
this is crazy because this is something very common that's a lot of people have, but not everyone have the tool of jiu-jitsu that we have to compare and make this analysis.
Not even the self-awareness, man. The self-awareness that people don't have it so much.
Yeah.
And that's something that
and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was even talking to Evandro and Hiro about it. I was asking them, like, how you guys get that consciousness and that self-awareness that you guys have. The way that they just walk, they just graze you just walk like nice and calm and watch everything. And Evandro was saying, like, man, because we lost our nature. Like, if you see a dog walking to the stream, this is the analogy that he said, like, if you see a dog just walking, he's just there, he's just seeing everything, he's just absorbing everything. He's just a dog. Like, we have so many distractions that trapped us in everything else and not in the inside that naturally we have it. We lost it when we were a kid. We lost it through that growth. And that's something that most people don't have. They don't know how to be in the dark. They don't know how to be in the light. Right. And they need to do both so that way they can go in the middle. And I was the same way, by the way. Like, in the darkness, bro, I have lamps and everything all the time. And it was because my head was thinking so much in things and imagining so many things that I couldn't even handle it. And now, I used to even sleep with the TV on. I don't know if you do the same thing. Yeah, TV on, timer and everything. That was my routine at night. Timer and then having a voice. Yeah, you just left it.
I left it on.
Exactly.
Maybe I put it on mute. I just needed
something.
Yeah.
I needed sound.
I was afraid of being alone.
Right.
Not being alone.
Yeah.
TV. Oh my
it's
God.
being alone.
Yeah.
100%.
Wow, man.
It's same as I have. I'm afraid
Bro,
of
it's the same
height.
thing.
I'm afraid of the height. The height really scares me. And I remember like 2-3 ICPs ago when we are all sitting in a circle.
It's crazy, huh?
And he don't ask like, what's your biggest fear? Right?
Ask me that question later. I'm going to tell you that.
What's your biggest fear? And I said, like, I'm scared of the height. If I climb a ladder to go and change a light, I feel like I'm on top of an airplane. And he don't really gave me a good analogy of that. And he said, like, hey, it's on your head. It's everybody is afraid of something, and you are lucky enough that the only thing you're afraid of is like go up to the ladder.
Doable.
A lot of people, they're afraid of things that influence in their life in a such more in such bigger way that's really enable them to be what they can be. You know, and he said like, man, if you're afraid of the height, you can master that. And I have that as a goal. I have that as a goal that one day I've been trying like a couple of things, you know, like, man, but if I walk like in the second floor in a hotel, when I go to a hotel and I come to the balcony, like I have to be hiding something, and all my kids, no, be careful. Even if there is like a big fence or something, hey, be careful, don't put your finger there, you know. So this is something that I have to master, you know, and I have this goal of work towards it and eventually jump from an airplane. Just kidding.
No. If you do it, I'll do it with you.
Really? It's recorded there. Oh man, I feel like goosebumps now.
Now we have to do it.
Right. So let's do that. We're gonna jump for an airplane in the night. Whoa!
That's even double.
Listen, I was afraid.
Okay.
But it's funny because the whole ladder thing. Before I get to like the whole like what's my biggest fear. I had two friends who, within like the same I think month or 2 months, that fell off the ladder and broke something on his back.
Wow.
The other one fell off the ladder, broke his knee. You know, and it wasn't like a huge ladder. It was just like a ladder, like being like right here.
Yeah.
I was never afraid of heights, you know. But when they told me that, I was like, oh, that's crazy. So when I went up my ladder, just like a few steps, and I was like, for years,
right.
About it,
because you had that memory of what happened to them.
Of course.
And it wasn't just about going up, man. It was just about going back down. I remember Eddie over there in the Ortiz Academy. He needed help to go up. You know, and I was so lost in my depression and other depression. I was just everywhere that I just went up. I was like, okay. And it's time to go down. I was just like, dude, I was like this, man. I was just like, and it's like it was so great that I was lost in this darkness, in this depression, because I didn't pay attention going up, but I was forced to go down that ladder because there's no other way down. There was no stairs, no elevator.
One way.
You know, and it was good, and that broke my fear of ladders.
Right,
you know?
right.
But then people like someone says, hey, what's your biggest fear? What's your biggest fear? And it could be a ladder, it could be a flower, but for the people that have asked me, their answers was, oh, my family dying, getting the news of cancer and or this, which is
right.
It's real.
Man, but when he asked me this, man, again, you have to be very open. I was like, man, my biggest fear is two things. One is going back to my old ways, going back to my mask days. You know, that's my biggest fear. And also running into someone when I was at my worst. Running into myself, man.
Yeah.
That was that, dude. When I said that out loud, man, I started crying. I was like this, and I got scared. I was like, dude, what if I ran into myself? When I wasn't like, I was literally like this, man. You know, because I get like this sometimes, you know. And that's my biggest fear, man.
Right.
Me, what's it called, regressing? You know, and or me, or my family running into me at my worst. Man, because that, oh my god. You know, because like you said, jiu-jitsu exposes a lot of things, and we could hide a lot of things. Yeah. You know, like hiding, like oh, I'm going to go for your neck over here, but boom, you go underneath like that.
Right,
so we can disguise things. Manipulative. It's manipulative.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know, and that's my biggest fear, man.
And that's something that is interesting that I was even debating to myself with. I was hearing the same thing on the podcast, like identity and all that stuff. And sometimes we have like little hooks that are pulling you back because you still think that you're that person, but not in the same way. But there's something that is pulling you back. And one thing that was messing with me is like with my family, with my dad not being in my life sometimes. My parents divorced and everything, and then my dad just split, and then I was just raised by my mother, and not having that male figure. I was the alpha male of the house, basically. And when I encountered another alpha male, it was like, no, I'm the alpha male here. So just encountering that part, I was like, and I wasn't like a violent guy or anything like that, but I had to encounter, like, I have to work with other men in my life because the only people that I can talk to is just women, in the sense of like, I like they having the conversation. And with most average males, they act with the ego and everything, chest bump and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't want to be that person, and being a little bit like angry with my dad, like, man, he wasn't there, he couldn't teach me or whatever. And then just getting to know that stuff, I was like, I don't want to be like that. But then I started thinking in a different way. I was like, thanks to him, thanks for the opportunity to being in my life, he was the one to teach. He taught me the way like I'm not supposed to be, or he taught me the way of getting a little bit better. And instead of being like, oh, it's in my genes, like I was born from him, I was like, no, but it's okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna be not only destined, but the identity that I want to have is in the values that I have, and I wrote it down. And every day I read those because that's the thing that I want to strive. And the thing that is not pulling me back is like, he's my dad and I appreciate him. That's the thing that hook that was in the back, like just pulling you,
right?
It just went away.
Yeah.
Because the change of like viewing it differently and changing the words, like you said, the words are powerful, like in your own mind. And that's why sometimes here in the ICP being live with Henry and Hiron, it's funny because Hiron is always like saying to Henry like, hey, careful, like use this word, like don't use that, because it's true, man. Like it's true when you start using different things. And I don't want to be like him. No, I'm grateful that I came from him and that he taught me this lesson, and now I can talk to him differently. I can sit down and have a conversation and learn and appreciate, instead of like, I'm gonna avoid him, or I'm not gonna spend time with him, I'm not and that's something that I was even watching on Kevin Hart. Most of you guys know what Kevin Hart is, the comedian. He had the same thing with his father, the same way. His father was even worse situation. And when he got older and now he's super successful, he take care of the guy. He said like, I don't have no remorse towards him. I appreciate
that's
so
a big
much.
Mastery right there.
Yeah, I appreciate him so much that I just want to spend time with him. My kids spend time with him.
Yeah.
And that change of word is like, it relieves the hook of pulling you back.
Yeah. It's really hard to do that. Most people, hard, you know, they live with this anchor on their lives because they cannot master the subject of let it go, you know, let it go.
I mean, it's not even an anchor. It's like where they say like with elephants, like in the circus, like they put them in a rope when they're small, and then when they get big, you know, tons, I don't know how much they weigh. It's the same rope.
Exactly.
The elephant doesn't even know that you step off.
They don't move.
So it's like we're anchoring ourselves.
Right.
And the acceptance about the fathers and families, like the stuff that I mentioned it briefly, like what happened to me as a kid, the worst thing imaginable, you know. Like what was holding back on me was just, they were still like right here, you know. It's like every time you turn around, the shadow, they became my shadow. Like, and that's another reason I was afraid of the dark, you know. And so one day, you know, going to therapy, and I say that very proudly because a lot of people say like, I don't need therapy. Why are you going to therapy? Oh, you're crazy, Alex.
Yeah, people don't understand.
Therapy is oh my God, you have no idea. I mean, I go like once or twice a week.
Man. The tools is incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You know, and I forgave the people that did stuff to me. Like, and
that's huge.
And what I mean by forgive, I mean like if I say their names or think about them, I don't say like, oh, I hope this happens to them. I hope. Nope. I pray for them.
Right.
I pray for them to get better. You know, and so forth like that. You know,
and that's definitely bring you the same energy back. You know, and if you keep that rant on your life for man. You know, I was talking with Henry yesterday about this.
Before I'm going to forget, I'm very forgetful. And people say, how can you forgive someone like that? How can you forgive? And I'm like, besides holding me back, that hook, that anchor. I was like, how can I expect anybody to forgive me? Because I'm no saint. No,
exactly, man. Exactly.
I'm no saint. You know, I'm sure I've done I know I have done very bad things, and things that I don't even know I've done.
Exactly.
Like that. So I was like, how can I expect this person to forgive me if I'm not willing to do
something? If I'm not the
one. Right.
So it wasn't like a selfish thing. It was just a realization, you know, like leading to the forgiveness and stuff like that. So I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to forgive you so this person can forgive me. No, I'm talking about like forgiveness, like for real.
Right.
Like nothing bad, but only either think nothing bad, but also think positive for that person.
This is really hard to see, man.
And that's really hard to see. And it's interesting when you started thinking that way, the people around you started changing, or you started attracting those type of people just because you changed the way that you do things. If you start forgiving more, the people that are around you not only forgive you more, but they love you even more. Just because of the way you are. That's the greatest part that I think that I got is most people project their own things like to other people, and they're like, I'm not gonna forgive him, I hate them, and they use all the stuff of words. And then when they see other persons, they judge them on their own. Like they don't even, the other person's not even thinking the same things that we're thinking. We're just projecting it's all in the mirror. And that's something that Eddie says all the time. Like when you say kind words to him, he always says like, my brother, I'm a mirror.
He
I'm
does
you.
this a lot.
Yeah.
But those are the gestures that is true, you know, and it's so true, man. And we don't know what people are going through.
Yes.
You know, and
We don't
really
understand.
And you know that saying like, 100 no's, 100 yeses plus one no. People think about the no.
Right.
So that's the no is like the negative, right? But look how our brain is. Our brain thinks. Like, let's say, I'm not gonna say 100, but okay, 100. Great, right? And then great, good, great. Then you focus on what? Wait a minute, why'd you say good?
Yeah.
Everyone else said great.
Yeah, what's that guy?
Yeah, but that person's good. He just said good, but he really meant great. You know, and when people say, "Oh man, you beat me up all the time. You beat me up," and I was like, "You're right. I do beat you up, but I'll never beat you down."
Yeah.
I suck, man. You don't suck. You don't suck, man. I'm just a little bit better than you.
Yeah.
I did everything wrong, man. I said, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything wrong. I did everything right.
Expectations,
And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, no, man. No.
Yeah, make that right.
Yeah.
And one thing for sure, you know, we've been sharing about many fears and many things that we've been talking. One thing we are very lucky to have is definitely jiu-jitsu, you know, to have this family of jiu-jitsu and this training and this amazing martial art.
Conversations even, like, do together.
You know, like
man.
after the training, sit in the mats and talk a little bit about this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, jiu-jitsu is still fairly new and nobody knows how important it is to have a tool like this, you know. And we are very fortunate to have been exposed to jiu-jitsu early ages, and now we are able to share this. And I really hope that this podcast reach people out there, and they can see like the importance of jiu-jitsu in your life, not just for the self-defense aspect. That's amazing and it's proven, and we all know how powerful that is. But like the hidden part of jiu-jitsu, that this self-evolution and self-understanding, and learn better how to understand other people, because you know, we talk about our problems and our concerns here and personal things, but I believe that people have much more than that in their lives. You know, people that don't have the same opportunities that we have, and they battle this invisible enemy every day, but they don't have the tool of jiu-jitsu to improve and get out of those situations.
Or they don't have something to relate to. Like, they just want to share with someone that says like, I had the same thing. Let's solve it together. Like, let's do something together. Like, something like that. That is the most powerful part, I think.
Oh yeah, and you want someone to understand that they'll never understand.
Yes.
You know, that's what it is, man. And when people say like, "Oh, you only say because you do jiu-jitsu," it's like, no, just find something.
Yeah, exactly.
That you want
Exactly. Totally agree.
Yes.
And it's a community, man, because what else are you gonna see on the mat? Like a doctor, a lawyer, a student, a grandmother, a grandfather. We see people. I'm going to say this without being too harsh, but you'll see someone that's been in jail, a criminal, a felon, be best friends with a lawyer, a police officer, a judge. That doesn't exist. Out there, it doesn't exist. That criminal will never talk to this police officer like out there. But here is like they're best friends, man.
Yeah, it happens.
And I'm getting chills just thinking about all this stuff, man, because I may not know what you're going through, but or anyone's, you know, but. We're here all that we see each other so many a certain amount of times. We spar with each other. That you don't have to tell me that you're having a good day or a bad day. But I was like, I roll with it. Like, hey man, are you okay, man? Are you okay? Yeah, why? Like you know, like we're rolling nice, you know, but there's just something a little
subtle.
Yeah, you feel it.
A little off, man. Are you sure?
It's subtle, man.
And then that person will come up to you, or you'll go up to them like, how'd you know? I'm like, man, I know you.
Feel it.
We don't hang out. We don't call each other that much or at all. But I know you here. You know, and that's what. And when people say like, I go everywhere.
It's connected, man. It's connected.
It's all connected, man. When people say like, oh, you know, the mat will what does that say? Like the mat will tell the truth, or the mat will lie.
Right.
You know? I don't like saying that, man. I think the mat is a lie detector test.
Yes.
It's a lie detector. Now, it'll expose the truth if you ask the right questions.
Yes.
Right? And that's what it is, man. If you ask the right question, it'll expose it.
Yeah.
No one's going to willingly say, hey, stuff like that, man, you know? And that's what, again, the beautiful part about jiu-jitsu is. And I love it, man. And it's been proven jiu-jitsu saves lives, and it saved lives.
Right.
You know, and
100%.
And the beautiful part about jiu-jitsu, all that stuff, I don't know about you, I'm going back and forth again, you know, but we talk about the blue belt blues, you know, the blue belt people come and they leave. I really believe there's such thing as a black belt blues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when people are extreme, you know, because even face it, man, you have to have a sickness in your head,
Right.
to love jujitsu, like sweat in your eye, very very uncomfortable, awkward sexual positions,
Right.
in your chest, or everywhere, you know?
Breaks so much taboos when you go through that.
Completely,
Yeah.
and you keep going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when you achieve your physical goal, this is a physical goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people, I went through this, man. Just last year, if you remember, I was much bigger because my escape became my prison. I was like, okay, what's my goal? I achieved my physical goal.
Right.
I got taped,
Right.
Your escape became your prison.
It became my prison. It became my prison, you know.
That's deep, yeah.
And I see black belts that lost their lives. You know, a couple of students here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I won't say their names because it's out of respect.
Right,
you know,
right.
but and these people were the nicest people. Always giving, always giving. But as soon as they got this, they were still giving. But you know, there's a little change.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And we all have masks. We hide it. We hide it with laughs and jokes, or even with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like that, man. I mask myself with jokes, making things. I'll say something awkward, or hey, how are you doing today? Hey, what'd you have for lunch today? I'll reply, hey, what do you do after? Like I didn't realize I would do that until someone brought it up to me.
Right.
And then when I ask people, hey, how are you, man? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? To the point when someone said like, Alex, are you okay? And the first time that happened, I broke down, man. I broke down. You know, and I was like, I thought I was.
Right.
You know, and when we feel that stuff like this, man, like I still get anxiety attacks. Like when I teach it, I get anxiety attack all the time. I get nervous, very nervous. Well, actually, you teach all the time in front of people.
People sometimes they don't see it, you know, they don't see it.
Yeah.
They think that the Superman is there and we don't have this kind of issues or problems. And I think that's exactly the message you're trying to pass today, you know, like doesn't matter how much you look that person like as strong and, you know, the leader and I'm teaching this big group, but you also have your fears and your breakdowns. Yeah, exactly. You're human. And again, you know, lucky enough that we have this tribe that we are part of, and we train jiu-jitsu that really help us to fight all these fears and these frustrations and everything. And but yeah, nobody's unbreakable. You know, nobody is.
And that's something that right now that I was like, just absorbing the whole information that we were talking about. Sometimes how we identify ourselves as humans, we see the other humans as we see ourselves. So sometimes when we think like, I'm weak because I'm this and that, and the other person is strong because this and that, and those stereotypes that you're giving to yourself, you're gonna give it to many people. So the moment that you peel off those assumptions and you start opening more, man, your life just gets the weight that you have on your shoulders, the pressure that you have, your own judgment. And the people that you are surrounded with is just changed because you start seeing people way more open when you see yourself way more open. When you forgive yourself, when you have more compassion about yourself. And that's something that I'm learning like right now in this conversation is like just have a little forgiveness for your own self. Just give yourself a little bit of space. Just give yourself a little moment. And that's something that he was mentioning on the, not only when I asked him about being more aware, but he shared in the dinner, just give yourself a moment for you. Instead of traveling, he said like 47 seminars and everything like that he did for everybody. Now he's gonna give to himself, to whatever he wants to go, whatever he feels that he wants to do.
And not feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
You know,
and not feel guilty, exactly.
Yeah. I felt guilty when I was like, okay, I need to do this and this. Okay, I have time. Okay. Nope. I feel like you self-punish yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and there's many different ways of self-punishing. You know, it's like it could be either like creating chaos over here or not doing this over here, so it could create something. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's such a thing, I believe, like an unseen consequences of relief. You know, like consequences of relief could be drinking, drugs, sex, violence, you know, stuff like that. But but some things you don't even see it, the unseen consequences. You know? And that's what's crazy, man. And oh man, I was gonna say something too, but there's so much, you know.
And to complement that, that's why the escape became your prison. That was deep for me, just because of that same reason. The escape of people, sometimes they don't even realize that it's reality, something that is closing them and limiting them.
Because jiu-jitsu is an escape.
Yeah,
it's an escape.
Yeah.
Like for veterans, for anyone who has post-traumatic, or for health,
so many people. Yes.
You know, and that's why, which is still true, by the way. It's great, but nonetheless, this is my job.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
a job,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm very passionate. I love my job, but then it just became slowly, and I did it to myself. I understand that completely. You know, it became my prison. And when I realized that, I was like, man, what the hell am I doing?
Right.
You know, how can I be telling these people over there, like, you know, what jiu-jitsu, you know, it's the best escape you could have.
Right.
But in my head, I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It came to that, you know, where it showed. It showed. And now this past year, people have been saying like, hey, there's something different about you. Blah, blah, blah. What's different? I'm like, I'm honest.
Right.
I'm honest with
And
myself.
that's open so much, make you so much better and so much free of yourself.
I'm exposing my secrets, secret techniques.
Yes,
Amazing.
exactly. That's exactly the best comparison.
Right.
You're giving your secrets.
Yeah.
Because that secret just will die with me.
Yes.
And you know, blue belt, brown belts, purple belts, all those. I feel like I suck, man. I can't tap this person, you know, and he's smaller than me and he's a younger belt. And I tell him, like, an honest thing, man, was just like, I remember this day, it was one of the best roles I had in a very long time besides yours. You know? I rolled with this blue belt one time, and maybe like less than I think like 8 months ago. Gi or no gi doesn't matter. And I was rolling with him. I swept him twice. You know, cool. Submitted him once. I was like, hey, good job. I was like, how long have you been training for? 8 months? Oh, a year, because he's a blue belt. You know? Wrestle before? He's like, no, just. I'm like, cool. And I was like, man, what the hell, man? I was really trying. I was like, I'm a black belt, you know. And barely did it.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm not gonna keep this to myself.
Right.
That same night, I rolled with a couple black belts. One black belt tapped 5 times, 7 times. We were going back and forth.
Yeah.
And these are the hidden taps that they didn't know. But I was like, so the next day I was like, no, I need to share this.
Right.
I was like, how many of you guys feel this? That the level that you have, you should be tapping this person, but you're not. Of course, everybody does.
Right.
And I was like, my toughest roll, my best one was a blue belt, and luckily he was there. And I was like, oh, it was you. It was this guy with a beard, you know. And he was like, Alex, but you swept me like 2 or 3 times. And I was like, you felt 3 sweeps.
Right.
Like, you didn't feel the 10, 15 attempts.
Right.
You felt that one submission. You didn't feel like 15, 20.
Right.
But then I rolled.
There's way more.
And I was like, who else did I roll with that day? A couple of black belts. And I was like, and how many times did I tap you up? Like 5, 7 times. And I was like, that doesn't match.
See, yes.
That doesn't match.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not.
It's a surprise every day. Yes, a surprise every day.
And that's what's so cool about it. Man.
Yeah, this is amazing, man. This is amazing.
So for anyone that's, if you're big or strong or it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yes.
Or the higher belts and you roll with somebody and you can't tap them, but then you tap that person out. Like it doesn't mean that that person over there sucks, or that person is just way better than you. Just no, that person exposed something that you thought was already clear. No, that was the best one, and under epiphany, I was like, man, this is so cool. This is so cool. Like, he found something, and I was like, I didn't know how to say it, but it was a very cool thing. It made me realize it was like the Dumbo's feather. That I could fly without the feather, you know?
Right.
But also, flying is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. You know, someone said, Alex, man, you make things so effortless. I'm like, well, it takes effort to get to effortless. That's what it shows. That's what it looks like.
You've been doing that for a long time to get to that point.
You know, so shoot.
Hey, this is amazing, conversation. Man. What's happening right now, it's I really hear the buzz in the back there. You know, everybody's training already. And we are join the fun too. We are so lucky that we're gonna finish this podcast now, and you're gonna join the whole group. Hiro is teaching a class for us, and of course you have that every day. You're living in the Mac of Jiu-Jitsu. You are the Mac of Jiu-Jitsu. You're part of it.
And by the way, I do understand and appreciate when people say, "Man, you're so lucky to be here." You don't understand. I understand that I'm very blessed to be here, and I understand that. To not only be here, but with you guys, but also be taught under Hidan and Henner and all the instructors here, and the facilities that we have. A day doesn't go by where I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just have a bathroom with towels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
So what's your message for, regards of what we've been talking, for people out there that battling their fears every day, and maybe they train jiu-jitsu, maybe they doesn't. You know, what's your message for them? Like, would like recommend them something to do out of your experience as a teacher, as a Marine Corps, as a father, as a family, you know, leader? What's your message for people out there? That's,
I think it's by saying that I've more than one quick.
mm-hmm.
You know, today's problems were yesterday's wants.
Mm-hmm.
Today's problems were yesterday's wants. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and what I mean by that is like, man, as a brown belt, man, I just can't get. I need to get a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a brown belt. Weren't you just saying that last year?
Right,
you
right.
You just wanted a brown belt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yesterday's problems.
You're on the way. You're on the way.
Today's problems were yesterday's wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And the other one is you can't fear fear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't be afraid of it. Fear fuels us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, when people say leave the past in the past,
Mm-hmm.
I understand when people say that, but I like to hold on a little bit of my past just so I know how far I've grown.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, does that makes sense? I need to, I don't want to say feel that pain, but I need to know that emotion just so I don't go back over there.
Mm-hmm.
Perspective.
It's all perspective, man.
Yeah.
And also just don't give up. And
Right.
whenever you feel like quitting about doing something, just add a second. And I say add a second because how many times have you said or felt when someone's choking you, man, if you would have had it, dude, I was about to tap, but if you would have it one more second.
One more.
I remember rolling with Henry one time, and I was the bottom of the side mount. I was sleeping, the overhead sweep right here. I was like, today's the day. I'm going to go all out. I was like, close my eyes, like, Right when I gave up, his legs were straight up like this, man. And then he went back down like this. And
One
people,
more.
And people were like, people would think like, I was like, yeah. It made me realize, man, if I would have held it 1 second,
Right.
because everybody has a standard.
Right.
Hold a choke and say 3 seconds. Before you give up, add a second. This becomes your standard.
Right.
Yeah.
Then this. So when you feel like add a second, add a day, add a month, add a week, add a year. So
Add whatever you interpret. Yeah.
whatever you interpret, man.
Yeah, yesterday you told me something very interesting too that's related with that. I was talking with somebody in the changing room there, and I mentioned my old habits.
Oh,
And
your
you
bad habits. You
Yeah,
said
my bad habits.
Yeah.
Yes, my old bad habits. And you're like, hey, excuse me, they're not old bad habits. They're just different habits.
Different habits.
You know, and that was like, man, that's very true.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just bad habits. They're just different.
Yeah,
you
just
know,
different.
and that's bring my message is like, you know, we all have these fears, we all have these problems, everybody have it, you know, not because we are leading a group that we are part of any organization, or if you are the CEO of the biggest company in the world or whatever, you know, that person also have same or even more fears that you can ever imagine, you know. So it's just about you understand yourself, open, put your frustration out, never be afraid of share what's going on in your heart, on your head, and this is like gonna really make you a better person, you know, because that's what it is. Life is full of up and downs, you know.
And I give you this huge block of gold that I learned from Alex now. Is like putting yourself out there makes you accountable. It makes you as well lifting that weight that you're like holding on. So you sharing that story with the students, for example, about the blue belt being swept like super less times than the black belt compared to the black belt. Just sharing it is already a hard thing to do, but it's better than not to.
Yeah.
Because then that way you're gonna carry it for the rest of your day, maybe the rest of that month, or the rest of the year. So you're sharing it right away. It will make your day, your life, your year, whatever you can think of that time period that you think that you will hold on to. Just give it. Just give it.
And give it, and allow yourself to feel that emotion.
Yeah.
Because we're human. You know, and like you said, just put yourself out there, because when you put yourself out there, you know, it brings people in.
Yeah.
You know, and it reminds students that, or people and ourselves, that, you know, we're not invincible, we're not invisible. You know, but we probably have gone through the same thing you have. Or are going through the same thing you have, or we will be going through the same thing. Because everybody is a leader in itself, you know? And everyone's an example. And are you going to want people to say, I want to be exactly like Alex, or nothing like Alex? You know, and I ask myself that question, okay, do people want to be, I mean, I hate saying it like that, but okay, am I a leader that people want to be like, or nothing, or be nothing like? And then whichever, and but what am I right now? Because no one's perfect.
Yes.
Like I'm Christian, you know.
Right.
You know, and I'm not trying to project my faith to anybody, but I was the first one in my family history to leave the Catholic Church.
Oh wow.
So people are like, oh no. So then people are saying, Alex, well, if you're Christian, how come you still curse? How come you still do this? How come you still do that? And then I realized, and I was like, man, you're right. Like I became a hypocrite. Oh my God! But then I was like talking to my pastor. He's like, you know, Christianity is not about being perfect; it's about being honest. And I was like, that's like jiu-jitsu,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know, and it's,
You're
we're
being
gonna
genuine.
say the same mistakes, but learning from it, feeling guilty about it, and you just started changing about it. And jiu-jitsu, you know, be honest with yourself. You know, you're gonna make mistakes. It's part of it. Just fix it. A mistake is only a mistake if you keep doing it, doing it, doing it.
Yeah, repeating
You
it.
know, and the problem with words is like, it's not a problem, but when people are so literal with words, we say like, you know, we fail to succeed. We have to fail to succeed. I don't like using the word fail.
Yeah.
I understand that cliche, which is very true. To me, failing is quitting.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like saying, hey, if I fail with this, I'm gonna do that. I say like, you know, an unsuccessful attempt leads to this. I attempted something, so I'll never quit, man. I'll never quit. And if I do quit, just understand that I completely gave it my all. I added that one more second,
Right.
maybe two, and then I was like,
Okay. I did it. Perfect, man. So
Nice.
amazing, bro.
Yeah,
amazing
very
conversation.
good.
I appreciate
Very
you, Alex.
good.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks
And
for
then,
waking up a little earlier today. Come meet with us. It's always a
I don't
blast
see, man.
to be around you and
Sorry.
learning and
That's actually true.
nice one.
Awesome,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you so much. We're gonna go training now. Bye bye.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Thank you.